Earth, the only known home of intelligent life in the universe. Home to billions and billions of people. We're currently in the northern edge of California, in the sleepy town of Roseville, lives a man among men. Now old and feeble at 80 years old, lives Genaro Tiongson. Only recently relocated to warmer, less hostile climates, his story does not begin here. Instead, it begins across the North Pacific Ocean, halfway across the world, over the Philippine seas, in the much smaller country of the Philippines, in the smaller still village of Malabon.
I was born on November 4, 1937 in Malabon, the province of Rizal in the Philippines, Metro Manila. I think I was born in late afternoon by a midwife, and at that time there was no hospitalization. You just get born at home. The earliest recollection of my earliest childhood was when I was about 4 years old, and I remember I was sitting beside my grandfather on the floor in the living room in the early morning, and we were sitting there side by side enjoying the sunshine coming through the window that was open. And I remember getting up and walked to the nearest door and then just stood there, and then I went back to sit beside my grandfather. Growing up in the Philippines was easy, and we were free to play after school, barefooted, playing around the neighborhood and sometimes even away from the house. But we always went home by dark. When I was in high school, I was studying in the kitchen during noontime, and I used to get up and walk behind my mom, who was cooking lunch. And while I was watching, I was asking her what she was doing, why the garlic, why onion, why this, why that, and that's how I learned to cook. I wasn't really planning to become a doctor, because after high school, I told my parents that I wanted to go to either fine arts school or become a high school teacher and teach physics. But my parents told me that, especially my father, that I should go to med school. And so I said, okay. And then after graduation, I wanted to practice medicine in the rural areas because there was a shortage of doctors there. But my father said, no, you're not going to the rural areas. We want you to go to the United States. So I said, oh, really? Because the plan was, if I came back and being trained in the United States, people would think that I was smart and that would pay me more. So the ulterior motive was for better pay and get richer. But it didn't happen that way. After graduation from med school in the Philippines, I qualified to come to the United States for training. And I left Manila in June 1965 and flew to Hong Kong, which was our first stop over. And we stayed a day and a half in Hong Kong, where I went out from my hotel and did some shopping, and that was when I bought my Rolex watch. After my internship in New Jersey, I I thought I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon, and to go to orthopedics, I have to have a general surgery residency for at least a year, and so I had that general surgery residency in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I loved doing it. And in fact, our chief resident wanted me to stay in general surgery, but I said, I have other plans. Of course, I was not expecting to be in the military service, but it happened that way after I finished my residency. And I was trained in Fort Sam Houston. Then I was stationed at Walter Reed Hospital, and then to Fitzsimmons, Denver, in Denver, Colorado. And I enjoyed working there, although I was mostly doing physical medicine service rather than rehab. And I tried to talk to our hospital commander in Denver to give me a rehabilitation ward at Fitzsimmons, but he wouldn't let me. So I decided to get out of the service after 7 years, and then we moved to Grand Forks, North Dakota. I met this good-looking young lady by the name of Catherine Ann Horway, and we started dating, and then we got married, and the plan was for me to stay in the United States and become a U.S. citizen. So the plan for going back did not materialize. My parents were, of course, disappointed, but that's the fact of life, and I guess I'm meant to be here, and I suppose by the grace of God, I got here and stayed here, and had a nice family. It did not take me long at all to adjust to American culture. Like, it was natural and easy for me to adjust to, because the American way of life was what I expected when I came here. It's different from Asian culture with different interpersonal contacts, but with the American way of doing these things, I've found it to be very pleasant and easy to adjust over the years. I have acquired this American culture myself. Overall, there was no problem with me. Created them all as gifts to us, and therefore I love them all equally. Wonderful, because I have so much time for myself, and because of that, I was able to engage more in my artwork, painting, with oil, acrylic, pencil, pen, and also I have plenty of time to do my exercises on a regular basis to keep my weight down and my blood pressure down, and also I don't have to get up early in the morning, do more things, and I got involved with church activities, and it seemed like there was not enough hours in the day to do all the things that I wanted to do during retirement. And I'm so grateful to the Lord for giving me the chance to retire fairly early, actually, and still enjoying it after 19 years. My favorite musician is Cesar Manalili, a Filipino guitar master. And I have a cassette tape on him, and I have been listening to his music over and over and over again. My favorite singer, however, is Engelbert Humperdinck.
Please release me, let me go.
My bucket list consists of two things. First is to be able to travel around the world, and my other bucket list is to be a great great grandfather in the coming years, God willing.
And so our story ends, but is most certainly not over. This great man among men continues to write his legacy among the billions and billions of stars. The only one of his kind on this planet, a man of science, art, medicine, music, integrity, and most of all, family.
I don't want to walk without you, baby. Walk without my arm about you, baby. I thought the day you left me behind, I'd take a stroll and get you right off my mind. But now